Call the meeting to order and have a moment of silent prayer. And especially a silent prayer for Senator Preston, the first woman of the Senate from California, for giving us so many years of service. So I want to say a special prayer for her and her family.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mrs. Franks.
Mayor Kindle.
Present.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Present.
Councilman Jenny.
Here.
Councilwoman LaPrat. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki.
Here.
Councilwoman Williams.
Present.
Councilman Tucson.
Present.
Acting City Manager Szymanski.
Here.
City Attorney DeWally.
Here.
All right. I need an approval, a motion to approve the minutes.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'll offer the motion to accept, receive, and file the regular city council meeting minutes held on September 18th, 2023, and to accept and file the library board meeting held on August 17th, 2023, and the planning commission meeting held September 27th, 2023.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm so sorry. Was there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, right now we have item D, which is public comment on agenda items only. You can speak now if you have something or a concern about anything that's on the agenda. This is not public comment.
3 minutes.
Seeing none, we'll move on to a consent agenda. I need a resolution.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I make the resolution to approve the consent agenda, items 1 through 3.
Support.
Discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I have a question for the city manager concerning check number 128311. It's on page 3 of the register, or page 18 overall. And it is the October 2023 residential trash collection. I wondered whether that shouldn't say September, since this is the beginning of October and we haven't had our trash collection yet.
What was the check number again?
It was 128311. I mean, I don't think we pay in advance because that's weight.
Yes, that's correct. That's just, it was a typo.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it should be September.
Yes.
Okay.
Maria?
Are you sure? October, do they have split month billings? Yes. Oh, okay, then part of one, part of the other.
Okay, so how does that work?
Well, they have like a billing period, and what will happen is that's what we get billed for. Every company's a little bit different. Obviously, they want to make sure that they get their check in October so that they could post it for October's revenue.
So-
That's,
Those are fixed rates. We're into the plan, the yearly amount, so the rate is the same every month.
Okay, so it's not based on weight
No.
any longer. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Maria. All right, is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kindle.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Okay, that takes us to old business, and we have none. Let's go to G, which is new business, city manager's report.
okay, item G1, proposal to update the recreation master plan. Mayor and council, attached is a proposal to update the city's recreation master plan to comply with the state of Michigan requirements. The scope of work involved would be to have a project kickoff and analysis of the existing plan, public review, and final adoption by City Council. I have reviewed this, and it is my recommendation that this proposal be accepted. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
by resolution to accept the proposal submitted by McKenna Associates for the preparation of the Parks and Recreation Master Plan in the amount of $7,750, and further to authorize the acting city manager to sign the proposal.
Support.
Discussion?
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I wanted to point out to the public that part of the reason that this is being pushed right now is that we can qualify for grant funding through this master plan. And we have an agreement, according to the documents I've read, with McKenna, that they will have this plan completed by February 1st that would qualify us for this grant. My question is, with McKenna's documents, they say that they will need to do a survey with residents as part of this whole program. And I'm just wondering where residents will go to take the survey. Is it something that's going to be online, something that'll be sent to the house? I'm just kind of curious about how the survey is going to work.
Okay, we have a representative from McKenna. Bridget, would you mind coming to the podium?
All right, hello, council. My name is Brigitte, and I am the representative from McKenna. So your question on the public engagement, yes, it'll be a citywide survey. We'll use your online platform already in existence, the Citizen Lab, and we'll also have paper copies available at City Hall. And the advertisement that we prepared to post online and any sorts of other means that are typical of the city's posting will indicate that it'll be online and hard copies in person.
Do you have a guesstimate about when that survey might be available, just to kind of give people a little heads up?
Yeah, so our timeline proposes that we'll have it drafted by the end of, if it's adopted, it would be within the first month, so October, and it would be released through probably mid-November then, because we want to have enough time to advertise, gather input, and then analyze the survey.
So people could start looking for it mid-November?
I would say by the end of October,
Okay.
beginning of November. Yeah.
Okay, very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I was just glancing online today, and I thought I saw something on there about taking a survey. Is that a different survey than the one I see on our website?
The survey on the website was, in regards to Parks and Recreation, was specifically for the proposed community center. This one would be a citywide, current and future planning for Parks and Recreation, so it would vary.
One more question, Madam
Yes.
Mayor. If we had something we want, with the survey, I guess the survey is gonna say what would we like to see different?
Yes.
Okay, so I can, get any ideas I have, I can put there, okay?
Yep, yeah, there will be a catch-all question, open-ended catch-all question. Yes.
Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, Ms. Frank. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brigitte.
Thank you.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Okay, item G2, progress payment number 2, concrete pavement repair project number 180-315. Mayor and council attaches a letter from our city engineers transmitting progress payment number 2 on the 2023 concrete pavement repair project number 180-315. It is recommended that this payment be approved. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I'll offer the resolution to approve payment to L. Anthony Construction Incorporated in the amount of $18,891.05 for progress payment number 2 on the 2023 concrete pavement repair project number 180-315.
Support.
Any discussion?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
This, I think you said it before, but these sidewalk constructions, these are ones that you've identified. I was kind of looking for a list of them. How is this determined whose concrete gets fixed and?
Heather, would you mind?
This has been predetermined by, there were main breaks that we had to repair streets and sidewalks, they were claps and catch basins, they were things that got damaged by the city in repairs of other things.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Heather, you should have just stood there for just one moment in case there's any other question. Yeah, Cheryl Constantino.
I just wanted to make you walk back up. That's okay. So I understand the project is 74% complete. So what other projects are going to be still being worked on this fall, and how many more payments are we going to have?
This one, all the cement has been poured, there'll be restorations, there'll be removal of the forms, there'll be a final walkthrough, so that's the part that's
Okay.
supposed to be completed.
Okay.
Are there any further discussion?
Madam Mayor, so how many more progress payments do we have left? Because this is number 2.
I don't have a definite number, it depends on if we have to do punch list items at the end, like extra repairs.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Roll call
Heather.
vote, Mr. Frank?
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Item G3, progress payment, Beaconsfield resurfacing. Mayor and Council attaches a memorandum from the Director of Public Works transmitting an invoice from the Michigan Department of Transportation for the city's portion of the Beaconsfield resurfacing project Phase 2. As you recall, this MDOT project required a match from the city, and this invoice represents a portion of that cost. I have reviewed this and recommend that this invoice be approved. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
a resolution to approve the payment to the Michigan Department of Transportation in the amount of $14,870.16 for the city's proportionate share of the Beaconsfield resurfacing project Phase 2.
Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
is it done? Is everything done, lines, everything?
No,
No,
we still
not
have,
quite.
yeah,
Not quite?
not quite,
Not
almost
quite.
there.
It's
Almost
quite nice,
there.
though, to drive on it.
Almost. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank?
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yep.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Okay, item G4, resolution, alternate meeting dates for Board of Review meetings. Mayor and Council, attached is a correspondence from the City Assessor requesting the City Council adopt a resolution to approve alternate dates for the July and December Boards of Review. Currently, the July Board meets on a Tuesday following the third Monday, and the December Board meets on a Tuesday following the second Monday. The proposed alternate dates will allow the board to meet any day during these required weeks, if necessary, as opposed to the specificity of Tuesday. With the allowance of this flexibility, excuse me, it will alleviate any possible scheduling conflicts that may arise. I have reviewed this and recommend this resolution be adopted. Mayor, a motion is recommended.
Madam Mayor, by motion to adopt the attached resolution authorizing the Board of Review to schedule an alternative meeting date during the week of the third Monday in July and during the week of the second Monday in December.
Support.
Discussion?
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I'm not surprised this is coming before us. I believe, is it Wednesday that Holly works? Tuesday. Or Tuesday, what day?
Holly, would you care to come up to the
Yeah.
podium here?
Yeah, I mean,
Explain.
it makes sense to not make you come in on a separate day.
So the date dates are set by
By the state of
law.
Michigan.
So it doesn't matter what day I come into the city, these dates can't be altered to Tuesdays. What the state is allowing for is us to have an alternate date in the event, say, unforeseen circumstances, the board can't hold a quorum. You know, the law is very rigid, you have to have it on this specific date. Now we have a second date that we can have it at any day, any time during that week, regardless of when I'm in or not.
Madam
Okay.
Mayor, how will the public be notified about the date?
So we'll know in advance, we always contact the board review ahead of time to see if we can hold a quorum. In the event, if we can't, then we'll go ahead and set the other date, and then it will be published the same as we publish this mandated. You know, it gets published has to be posted so many days as an open meeting, with the Open Meetings Act.
Okay.
Is there any further discussion? Okay, thank you, Howard.
You're welcome.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, item G5, resolution, early voting. Mayor and council, attached is a correspondence from the city clerk requesting approval of a resolution designating City Hall as an early voting site for all statewide and federal elections beginning in 2024. As you may recall, in November of 2022, voters approved a ballot proposal that mandates early voting for at least 9 days. Legislation has been created to implement the early voting process for cities, and one requirement is for the governing body to approve the early voting sites. As her memo states, City Hall meets all the requirements, and by designating it as the City of Harper Woods early voting site will allow the clerk staff to easily supervise election staff, answer all questions or concern from the early voting staff, and provide a seamless process for those who wish to register to vote and vote early at the same time. I concur with her recommendation that this resolution be adopted. Mayor, a motion is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I motion to adopt the resolution designating City Hall as the early voting site for the city of Harper Woods.
Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
In the resolution, on number 5, it says that to maintain consistency within the county, the City of Harper Woods early voting hours will be the same as the hours being held under agreements with Wayne County. And I'm just curious, is that also consistent with our business hours? Because I hate to have Wayne County say, you know, they're gonna do their voting from 7 a.m. to, you know, whatever, and our business hours don't start till later in the day. I just wanna make certain that you're not gonna be in for a worse time. Should this be consistent with the business hours of the City of Harper Woods?
I would assume that, yes, they will allow the clerks to kind of
Set their own hours.
But as it stands, I think the law says 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Okay, all right. I just don't want us to be surprised if Wayne County says it's gonna be these hours, and then you're stuck having to.
They take the clerk's consideration
Okay.
somewhat to heart.
All right, good, thank you.
Madam
Is there
Mayor?
any further discussion?
At that forum, went to a forum last week, that was about about Proposal 2 and all the voting changes. And my question to the director was about these 9 early days. And 2 things that they said were, 1, we could consolidate with another city. You can for 9 days consolidate with another city. You could vote like in Grosse Pointe Woods. And another thing, they said there was grants available to help offset the cost of this. And I'm just wondering if those were 2 things. But it does sound like what I read here, that we don't think this is going to be that big of a burden on our city. So I may have answered my own questions.
Anyone?
Would you like me to answer?
Of course.
Okay, so we have discussed consolidating with the other communities, and we found that that would likely be more of a hardship to a lot of our residents, especially if they chose, you know, say the middle of Grosse Pointe Farms or something for our residents to have to go to. So that was kind of kind of set in stone already right off the get-go. As far as the grant, I've already applied for the grant, and it will provide us with some additional equipment. We have not heard back from the state as of yet, but the deadline for that was September 30th. So that will also, up to a certain amount, it will help pay for the inspectors that will have to be here for those 9 days. It includes postage for the applications, for the ballots to be returned, and again, some additional equipment if each community needs it. So yes, the grant is already in motion as well.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor?
Yes?
Yeah, I was just gonna say in addition, at the last Michigan Municipal League Conference, this was one of the sessions I sat in on. And at that time, they were trying to develop the funding. They knew they wanted the funding, but wasn't sure how they were going to get it and get it out to the clerks. So I'm glad that they have a process. They finally came up with that. So it was something that they were seriously considering how the clerks was going to be able to handle those 9 days.
Yep. We're still in the asking phase of money.
Right, right.
Yep.
The money's there,
Yep.
and it's just a matter of shaking it loose. All right, are there any further discussions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And that concludes the city manager's reports.
All right, call the audience, 3 minutes, please. We have a budget hearing, and I don't want to be here all night. I don't feel very well. I've had this terrible sinus, and I can't hardly hear you, so please do not use your bedroom voices when you come up here. Talk so I can hear you.
Kristen Olin Sullivan, Country Club in Harper Woods. I was really fascinated with item G1, and I was hoping that we could develop some kind of a way to notify the residents. I see that in the Insider this week, there was something on Citizen Lab, but since it's very new, is there another way that we can notify citizens on this really cool recreation proposal so that they can participate too? I would just like to try to offer hope to have some suggestions, and maybe like Nixle, people could sign up to get notifications, or we could use the neighborhood Facebook page. Gentleman named David Callis runs that, and a lot of people look at that. So there's a lot of different ways to get the word out on cool things, and this would be a nice way to introduce people to the project and to Citizen Lab. That's all.
Okay, well, number one, we've had a town hall meeting over at Salter Park once, and if weather permits or whatever, we may have another one. We may have another town hall meeting, just so that those people who are not computer savvy will have an opportunity to express themselves. But it will be on our Citizen Lab, which is connected to the website of the city. And that's the best place to get information regarding what's going on in the city.
Oh, I know that, but if people don't know, aren't internet savvy, how do they know about the town hall
Well,
meeting in the park?
we will, like we said, we will make sure we post it, there's a web outside,
A
the
board.
announcement board. We'll figure out a
The
way.
water bills, the water bills as well.
And the
And the
Water
water
Act.
bill as well. That would be an excellent idea. Everyone gets a water bill.
That would be a great idea.
That would
They
be
have
a
to
great.
Look at it. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll figure it out to make sure, because I'm not as computer savvy as a lot of people. So, hey, I understand. Mr. Kadat.
Mike Cadet, Lockmore Street. Again, this concerns these large parties. So on Sunday, September 25th, there was a big party. It was either over on Lancaster or Country Club between Balfour and Beaconsfield. Loud music all Sunday afternoon until it got dark. A lot of people over there. I just don't see for the life of me why hundreds of people, residents, have to put up with this loud music for hours and hours on end. And some of the lyrics some people would find objectionable.
Right.
Okay? So,
So did you
Detroit
call-
has banned this kind of activity. You can have a party, but when you
Right.
play loud music, and it goes blocks and blocks, I think that's an entirely different matter. If Harper Woods is to remain a peaceful and quiet community, this stuff needs to be banned. Can you imagine if 4 or 5 houses all decide to have a party like this on the same day?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, it'd be terrific. So, if people want to have parties, great, but ban this outdoor music, especially it's loud. And so maybe you don't even like that kind of music. So you don't have any choice. So you want to listen to your TV, or you want to watch a football game, or do something else, and you get this bass and music, and usually it's highly rhythmic and invading your home, and you can't shut it out. And so
I understand, Mr.
Yeah, so this is
Cadet.
a problem. And then just the passing note, I want to commend the Public Works Department for taking care of the weeds on Beaconsfield. It looks really nice now with the new pavement, and all the weeds in the median strip are gone. And so it's, when you come into Harper Woods, it looks real good. Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Cadet. I'm not sure, Mr. Cadet, what we can do about that, but we will look into it and see if it's something that we can possibly do with ordinance. I don't know, other than what the already ordinance, right, Sharon?
Well, first of all, it's complaint-driven, so you have to call the police. You have to get the police out there, and you have to report it and saying, this is too loud, it's too noisy, so it is complaint-driven. And we do have a noise ordinance. And if it's violating the noise ordinance, then you have the right to call the police and say, no matter what time of day, even regardless of the time limits that we have, regardless of the time limits, if it's totally untenable, where your windows are rattling, you can certainly call the police and register a complaint, but it's complaint-driven. Somebody has to call.
But if we had an ordinance specific.
Sir,
Okay.
you have to call, if you understand my point. Regardless of outlawing it, somebody still has to call and report it.
But not in Detroit. Read the law in Detroit.
Okay, but we're not Detroit, Mr. Cadet, but okay.
We could have a similar law.
All right, is there anyone else that wishes to speak before I go to council? Starting with Ms. Williams?
Just want to say that I had a very nice weekend. Several of us got together. There was a meet and greet. So, residents got a chance to come out and meet members of the council and the mayor. So that was very nice and very well attended, and I thank the public for coming out. And I guess that's about it.
I want to get into the budget meeting, so I don't have anything tonight.
Okay. Tom?
Well, the what do you call it? Public Works for Belschner was very, very nice, well attended,
Yes.
very well attended. But other than that, yeah, let's get into the budget workshop.
Yes. Okay.
I might slow things down just a little. I'm sorry. I have 3 items. The first is Family Fun Day. So Harper Woods is having a Family Fun Day on October 21st from 1 to 4 p.m. It's $5 per child, but it includes lawn games, costume contests, children's fall craft, the bounce house, a 50-50 raffle, candy, prizes. It'll be a riot. Well, hopefully not literally.
Right.
It should be a lot of fun. They're asking that any families interested register by Friday, October 13th at the Parks and Rec office at Johnston Park. And so that sounds like it'll be a real nice time. Pass that along to your neighbors. Secondly, I'd like to know when the Charter Subcommittee of Council is going to reconvene, and I'd like to be a member of that committee. I know that we have only 2 members right now, that is Ms. Williams and you, Madam Mayor, and I know that for a subcommittee of council, we can have 3 council members, so I'm just asking if I can be on that subcommittee. All right, and I know I think it's an important committee, so I think that hopefully we'll get started again very soon, so we can take a look at the charter and determine whether there are other areas that need to have any amendments done with those areas. So do we know when that committee is going to meet again?
No.
Okay, can
As soon as we convey with a date and stuff, we'll let all interested parties know.
Okay. And then the third thing has come to my attention that there is some talk in the community, and perhaps it's been mentioned, I have been told that people have been given the idea that that our cannabis businesses we might be requiring the cannabis businesses to be 350 feet away from residents' homes, but this question is for the city attorney. At this point, or really ever, if we said that cannabis shops could locate in the community, and then we put on this 350-foot requirement, would that be considered an unreasonably impractical according to the law?
Yes, as we've discussed, yes, it is considered impractical. And the problem being that if it's 350 feet, what you're effectively doing is saying, well, we're allowing, but we're not allowing. You're effectively excluding everybody, and you can't do that under state law. They will strike that down. If somebody takes you to court, that will be stricken down as an inappropriate restriction on the business.
Right. And as I understand it, then cannabis businesses would have to purchase houses in order to, meet that requirement, and that's a burden that any business is not permitted to, be.
It's not contemplated by the law, and we cannot infringe on the area of the law that has been preempted by state law. And this is state law that we're talking about. And if you're effectively eliminating the business by putting unreasonable burdens on that law will be struck down.
I just want to make certain, because I don't want the community to have this impression that that can be done, no matter what anybody's telling them.
I cannot foresee that happening. I believe it's an unreasonable burden, as I said, because of the state law, which controls, will effectively, anybody who challenges it, I would suspect would win in court.
Okay. Thank you. And then the other question is for our city manager. I know the Planning Commission is the next step for these businesses, and they're going to be reviewing plans. Can you give us a timeline of when that is going to take place?
November 1st is going to start the process. We're still refining elements of that. And that will officially start the process November 1st. We can't say, when everything is going to be wrapped up because of the fact we don't know what condition these site plans are going to come in. When we had the Planning Commission meeting, every single submittal had to go back because something was left out or close to it, yeah.
So we cannot accept any site plan unless it's complete. I mean, they have to complete all of the steps in order for us to accept that business.
Nobody will get a license without hitting
An
every
application.
single, checkpoint on the checklist.
All right.
That's correct,
Thank you.
yes.
All right, Mr. Toussaint.
I don't really have too much to say. I was just a little, I'm hearing about the noises every week about the music and things. And then it started making me think about some of the other sounds of summer when I'm sitting out in my backyard and I have to listen to all the lawnmowers and and all the construction things that's going on. A lot of times just run me in my house, going back inside and turning the air conditioner because of all those different noises. So summer is a challenging time for outside noises. That's all I wanted to comment on. And pickleball is still Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't know if you're gonna do this, you probably will, but just in case, the Lions Club pasta dinner is gonna be Friday from 4 to 7 at the AmVets Hall. And I'll refrain on any other comments since we have the budget workshop tonight.
Okay, so that leaves it to me. I want to thank the NEDC group for their beautiful cleanup job, for cleaning up the weeds and taking care of the building on Kelly Road. As many people may not know, we have 210 Kelly Road is a building where it's a conference room. My office is there, and Ty's office is there, and but NEDC Beautification Group has been the catalyst of keeping it beautified with flowers and weeding, and so they did this over the weekend, and it looks so much better. And I just want to thank you, the Taborns, for being there, calling me and say, can we come over to do that this weekend or whatever weekend. So I thank you guys very much for your dedication to this community, not just for what you do over there at NEDC. You all are everywhere, anywhere that help is needed for the city of Harper Woods. So I thank you very much for that. Also, well, Cheryl has mentioned about the pasta dinner, but the thing about the pasta dinner, tickets are a bit slow, but what we really, really need is for people to show up. We've asked Channel 2 and Channel 7, and Channel 4 too, but 2 and 7, it's also their 75th year as well. So this is an opportunity for all these 75 organizations and to come together, and we would like for them to highlight the 75 years of service that the Lions Club has given to this community. And so we would appreciate, you don't have to get a ticket now, you can get them at the door or whatever, but please, if you have anything, any kind of way of supporting our Lions Club, which has been so supportive of our community, please come over at 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock at the AmVets. $15 at the door, nothing changes, whether you can do it now or later, but please come over and partake in the pasta dinner and show the Lions the support, because they do support us as a community and have for 75 years. I often remember John Benier, who was a very active member of the Lions Club, and he hustled those tickets, and you would not get away from here without getting a ticket from him. You know, those old timers here remember John, and so in honor of John, I really wish that the 75th anniversary pasta dinner would be something that he would definitely be proud of. So please, if you can, just come over, and you may be able to pick up and go. I make sure that we have carryouts if you can't stay, but it's all you can eat, vegetarian or meat kinds. So please come out and support us. Family Fun Day. Last year we had a ball, and it was a beautiful day. So please come out and support the recreational department. I don't know if we're gonna have cornrow or not, but we're planning to have the cornrow. So if we can get it together, we will have, you'll be able to play the cornrow while you're out there, and that's fun. Anybody can do that. It doesn't take a whole lot of energy, but it's just a fun game. So please come out and support Our recreational department, they worked very, very hard, and I still have a picture from last year. It was just so pretty, if I must say it myself, sitting on the hay around the pumpkins. It looked good. So come out and take a picture and then enjoy our harvest time, all right? And with that, we need an adjournment to the budget hearing meeting, and anyone like to come over, you're welcome to it, but it's a small room, so, but anyway, you're welcome to come in and listen to the budget.
And Mayor, make the motion to adjourn the budget workshop session.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Everybody have a good evening.